So check me out, bro. I feel like this video. This ain't even really. I'm watching this video because for a while now, a lot of people got their own confusion on if they fuck with Trap Ross, if they don't fuck with him. Some people don't fuck with what he doing. Some people do fuck with what he doing. Some people think he ain't doing nothing wrong. Some people think he is doing shit wrong. I don't know. In my opinion, I just feel like this video gonna be really my opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it too. In my honest opinion, I just feel like it's certain stuff that he kind of pressed the issue on. And he probably, it's cool, what I'm saying, I feel like to do your video and react, but bro, I feel like once you start like choosing what you think going on, that's when you get too much, what I'm saying, into the unknown. And some people probably been saying that Trap Raw's been letting the fame get to his head. We about to see what this video, we about to see what he talking about. Strap yourself, man. Let's see what he talking about.
Okay, people, big news just happened. Your boy Lil Durk, big OTF, currently facing murder for hire charges, just made a collect call from the feds. And it came to the most unexpected of people, okay? It came to the wife of Loose Cannon, who, if you didn't know, quick rewind, is currently incarcerated as part of the entire Big U RICO. This is the last person we were expecting to hear rubbing shoulders with Mr. Lil Durk. Okay, I'm surprised that this even happened, but the wildest thing has just happened. People have been moved. Cells have been moved. Apparently, Brick Baby and Loose were sharing a cell. Then people were saying that might have been Cap. All of a sudden, Loose Cannon is on the yard with Lil Durk. Loose Lips Cannon is on the yard with Lil Durk. Now, it's the last person I would have expected would have been fraternizing with Mr. Lil Durk. And I just can't believe it. So Loose's wife, Sharice Mills, I believe her name is, she has jumped on a jail call with DJ Academic. She's got Lil Durk on the line. And
my boy, is that a YB plaque in your background of your screen right now? Is that a YB AI Youngboy 2 tape right now?
And I want to have a little listen to the call today because I did listen to this already, and honestly, I think it says a lot. I think it says a lot about Lil Durk's mindset, it says a lot about where we are at with this current case, and I think it's just very illuminating and very revealing. So let's just have a quick breakdown of the jail call from Lil Durk and just try and get to the bottom of this situation.
Let's skip up. You keep talking.
What's up, bro?
Smirk, what's cracking with you, my brother?
Tell me what you got going.
Man, I've been chilling, man. We missed the fuck out of you out here, bro. How you been?
I've been good, man. Mentally, spiritually. I've been on top of my shit. I'll be back out there, you hear me?
Man, we can't wait, bro. We've been praying for you.
So currently, just to give you a little bit of extra background, okay, Lil Durk is currently pushing to get some bail, and he's been doing a pretty ingenious finesse to try and get himself out there, okay? So look, here we go. All right, this is my opinion. I don't want to get sued for defamation. I don't want to get told I'm trying to be the feds or trick Durk out of his position. But in my personal opinion, I think Lil Durk is trying to finesse something, because what's been going on is that essentially Lil Durk has been claiming that, there's this one particular song lyric from the song, was it with Babyface Ray, I think it was, where Lil Durk's talking about, no, heard your son, see him on the news, he's screaming, no. It's an extremely self-incriminating line. It's basically very obvious that, Lil Durk is rapping about the supposed murder for hire. But he's trying to finesse it. He's saying that his producer has submitted some metadata to say, no. That lyric that appears to directly explain exactly what happened in this murder for hire that Lil Durk's being accused of, we recorded that way before it happened. And it just so happens we recorded it, months before, and then we sat on it, and then the murder happened, and then we released it after the murder happened, several months after the murder happened, and
y'all know my channel, bro. I don't get into the Fed politics shit. I don't get into all that on this channel. We just react and let the motherfucker talk. But we're gonna let him keep going though.
It perfectly describes not only the circumstances of the murder happening under the direction of Mr. Lil Durk, but also the screams of the screams of grief that Quando Rondo expressed after witnessing this murder that Lil Durk allegedly orchestrated. Apparently that's all a coincidence, and apparently just like one screenshot of metadata is enough to prove that oh no, well the file was created way before the murder happened, so this is true. Like, there can't be multiple versions of the file that were submitted to Spotify, like the beat or a version of the song couldn't have been created before the murder and changed later on. In my opinion, they think the court and the judge and the legal team are a bunch of morons, right? So Lil Durk is now trying to say that the feds submitted a fan-made version of the song where they took that Quando Rondo, the scream of horror at seeing his cousin murdered, allegedly a murder for hire plot orchestrated by Lil Durk, they're trying to say, oh, because a fan-made version of the song where they sampled the song was put out there, the government are trying to say that this is the official version of the song and the song was recorded way before, and we're trying to get Durk out on bail based on this. Now, I think this is personally absurd. One, there's loads more examples of Lil Durk claiming the murder in songs. There's loads more. Just go and check out my video that I made about the whole situation, okay? If you really want to know, if you really want to get to the bottom and the meat and potatoes of this thing, all right? Like, that thing's the tip of the iceberg, okay? If you really want to get into it, disclaimer, if you really want to get into it, all right? There's countless lyrics. There's literally countless lyrics where Lil Durk not only is explaining about how...
This is the part where I don't really agree with. I ain't gonna lie. This is the part I don't really agree with. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? The mini murders of Lil Durk. Look at the title. Like your titles is like, you know, you're reaching. You know what I'm saying? Ain't Trout Ross like all the way in like he ain't in the States or some shit like that. Like he all the way somewhere on the other side. And it's like this man literally is like titling the videos mini murders and all this shit. Like you, if you really like, it's okay to say your opinion and say what you heard in the songs, cause everybody do it anyway in public every day. Bro, it's one thing to like title your shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Let's keep going.
You know, it's just it's endless. It's endless, right? There's a whole bunch of these things. We flying to get you. Okay. Like, there's loads and loads of lyrics. Not just this one lyric where he's talking about Noah screaming, go, go, everybody with him. If you know, you know. There's a bunch of examples, right? They know that we did it. It's absurd. So it's kind of genius, but also absurd that Lil Durk thinks that, you know, he's going to be able to finesse his way out onto bail by kind of focusing everything onto this one example of a lyric that's extremely incriminating with, in my opinion, my personal opinion, false evidence. Like, I don't believe that the song was made before the murder happened. I don't personally believe that it's possible for a lyric so obviously describing the circumstances of what exactly happened after the murder. To me, it just cannot be possible. I don't care that you've got a screenshot of, like, I just don't care that you've got a screenshot of some metadata a few months before to say, oh, well, a file was created before the murder happened. So it can't, like, bro, you could have jumped back in the studio and edited that bar to be like, yo, let me just throw an extra bar on this before we drop this song so I can really just, like, mock the victim of the murder. Like, can we just change that? Like, that just doesn't mean anything to me, right? So this is just like, I just wanted to give you that context and just explain to you that, like, Lil Durk is trying to get out based on this little finesse, and he's trying to put everything all on this like one fan-made version of the song where they took Quando Rondo's "No" and superimposed it onto the song of Lil Durk talking about see your son on the newsy screaming "No, no," which to me is literally impossible for Lil Durk to have accidentally rapped that bar and then.
And this the part that somebody sent me the video and they said look out for it. And this part right here, they say he really was trying to like, you know what I'm saying? You know, a case is a case. Y'all know how that shit goes. When somebody in the police, they dealing with some shit, they don't really need no evidence. Nobody really pointing fingers, all that shit, you know. Like I said, we don't do that shit over here on this channel. We don't do the politic, the law shit. We don't do all that. But, yeah, I think somebody was telling me on this part right here, that's where they felt like he was doing too much. So we just going to keep listening. This video about 30 minutes. I'm not going to watch the whole 30 minutes. We're going to skip through. But let's let it keep going.
It happened in the real world. And if it did, you wouldn't release the song. So
I'm gonna skip back up to the interview.
Journey you was on, so like I'm hoping you keep that up, man.
Yeah, you know, ain't nothing changed, bro. I just been focused on life, you know, my family and stuff like that. I'm trying to learn how to speak Arabic again.
Wait, how you learn that? Like, how do you get to learn that? They got classes?
You said, I can't hear you.
Do they got classes for that? Or you just...
No, it's a couple guys here that know how to speak Arabic fluently. So I'm just learning the different words and, you know, tighten up my Arabic. Just get my knowledge together for real. I ain't really on too much of nothing, bro. I don't even be thinking about the outside.
Really?
So Lil Durk says that he's converting people to Islam inside the jail, right? He says he's learning Arabic, and this headline was going around recently, which I thought was really interesting. Apparently, Lil Durk has converted 13 prison inmates to Islam as he awaits murder for hire trial. Now, I'll be honest with you, if I was locked up and Lil Durk popped up, I'm converting to whatever the hell he wants, because I'm probably bored as hell. I'm probably serving life in this federal prison, and I'm thinking, you know what? Let me get on my Dean with Lil Durk. Let me get on my Dean. Let me OTF. You know what I'm saying? The OTF branch of Islam is looking pretty appealing at this stage, right? So apparently Lil Durk is converting people to Islam in jail. 13 prison inmates to Islam. Now, I gotta say, on the one hand, it's like, it's a positive thing. Lil Durk kind of bringing people around to religion, you know, convincing people in jail to maybe take on, you know, the good, positive aspects of Islam, the discipline, you know, the righteousness. But at the same time, and I heard Poetic Flacco say this on his stream when he was reacting to this, and I thought it was really interesting. It's like, you know, it's all well and good to retreat into your religion and convert people, you know, after you've done the murder. Where was the righteousness and the, you know, commitment to God and godliness when you were outside, when you had the opportunity to set a good example, when you were outside supporting your family, supporting your label, supporting your artists? Like, where was that? It's really unfortunate that it takes something like this. And I know it's really tragic. You know, Durk lost King Von. He felt he had to avenge Von, allegedly orchestrating this murder for hire. He had the Wolves and all the gang members and all of OTF basically on his case. Like, when are we sliding for Von? When are we setting this up? Can you book the private jet so we can go and slide for Von?
Now, I don't know if this like is true. I don't know if it's all said in stone that they saying that about him, but Buddy ain't even saying allegedly. Buddy is just straight getting to the point saying that's what it is type shit. Like, he ain't even saying allegedly, but I'm letting him keep going.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, Von was in the wrong in the first place. Von shouldn't have swung on Quando Rondo. Von allegedly had 7 bodies, got away with 7 murders. He should have really been laying low and living his
he said at that time
best life and doing something positive, but really he was trying to instigate and bully people in the music industry for his own kind of personal gratification.
You got a clogged drain.
it's raining over here too, y'all.
And success, and just to basically,
power.
Let's be real, right? King Von punched Quando Rondo as part of a plan to beat him up as part of his rollout for his Welcome to O-Block project. What Von was hoping happened that night was that he beat the brakes off of Quando Rondo, and it went viral. And he was going to be the toughest guy, and his album's gonna just do numbers, and everyone's going to be talking about him beating up NBA YoungBoy's artists, and it was this great thing. And unfortunately, that went wrong. You know. As Quando Rondo said in his song, you know, the guys from Chicago, they thought they were the only killers in America, but they didn't count on the fact that Quando had a killer with him that night, you know, and the Rolling 60s from Savannah, Georgia are serious guys. And that's no disrespect, but that's just the unfortunate situation. And for Lil Durk to then feel like, I have to go on this murderous vengeance plot, numerous times people tried to kill Quando Rondo. And I'll be honest with you, Quando had beef with other people in his city, but the way that he was stalked around America with numerous attempts on his life, I think it's quite obvious, in my opinion, let's not get me sued, but it's quite obvious, in my opinion, there was only one group of guys that were really trying to kill Quando coast to coast. And unfortunately, they ended up killing his cousin, and that's why Little Durk's, you know, crashed out and essentially thrown his life away over this situation, apparently. You know, we'll see how the trial goes. But I think it's just really sad and a bit disingenuous when it's like guys just like go all in on their religion so much after the fact, and it's just like Lil Durk was claiming his religion before all of this stuff. You know, Lil Durk.
He getting a little bit over his head. We're going to get back to the interview because I don't really care about none of that.
You know,
I mean, honestly, I say all the time, hey, when niggas got a lot of money, it ain't no way you going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? You got all that money, bro, I'd be stacked up, chilling, kicked up somewhere. But anyways, I'm going to let the shit keep going.
it brought me back to the conversation we had. Man, I see where you get it from, man. Like, you know, your father's a stand-up dude.
Yeah, that's my wisdom right there. You know, he be on point. Love him to death.
I got to say something that I think is interesting as well, and this is there's certainly no disrespect to academics, right? But you know, Lil Durk did do an interview with academics before he went away, and unfortunately, it was it was an extremely incriminating interview. If I say so myself, I would say the interview with academics was incriminating. Really, it wasn't a great look. What is going on here? What is going? Being nothing short of creepy.
I feel like you know how to pick with people. You're the worst type of person. You see, at least with like 6ix9ine, he's like like he's clearly making fun of you. You like
I ain't gonna lie, like I be dead serious, like that's why I try not to to do too much. I be dead serious, and it's like the people around me, It's even worse than me. So it's like, that's why I said the situation.
You know, it's at this stage, it's all killer energy, right? You know, this is why it's really important, because I want you to really take note of how different Lil Durk's talking here to when he's in jail facing the consequences of these murder for hires. This is demonic Lil Durk. Like, I'm killing people and getting away with it, and I've got the wolves all surrounding me and they're protecting me and I'm facing no consequences. This is Lil Durk thinking he's gotten away with murder, and then in a minute we're going to keep going with the jail call and we're going to hear a completely different Lil Durk. We're going to hear a defeated, sad, a Lil Durk that sounds like he's given up, to be completely honest with you.
I was like, I'd be the one to be like, man, I'm gonna take a picture of Soulja Boy and it'd be funny. If I want that type of guy, it would have been like, then they would have whooped his, like, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like, I don't take that man serious. The man did not do nothing wrong. The man friends did. Crown I got his whooped. He was there.
You didn't get beat up.
Huh? Pull up on.
Oh yeah. You get triggered by the
Beat
slide.
the shit out of this little ass, man. What
You
you
get
talking
triggered
about?
by the Slide for Vaughn comments. They used to say, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, they be saying Slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song was fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why. We here though. We different in the rack.
I feel like you're speaking in parables. I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's.
No, we have nothing to do with nothing. I'm saying that's like me just claiming something I want to.
I feel like you was troll right there. No.
I never troll him. He got beat up too bad. He got to that.
So you're not condoning more violence continuing.
For what? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
See, like I feel like I can't tell if you have a good poker face. All right, man.
Even with academics right here, like academics, even in this interview that he's showing in his clip, it's like you could tell like he reaching. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm interviewing somebody, like I never keep reaching for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's how them boys built their career, I ain't mad at that. But it's like I never keep reaching on. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like I'll be going about other shit. Like I'll probably bring it up one time, we brush over it. That's it. That's really how it should be. But hey, that's just my opinion. Y'all tell me how y'all feel.
Swear in the interview, Durk brushed off Quando Rondo and Lil Tim. Like, this is just the amount of confidence here, and it's a crazy fall from grace. This is a guy who's thinking that he's getting away with murder, and just just completely if you watch the full version of the interview, it's creepy, and there's more. We cut out some of the pauses because we just needed to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit shorter. But it really is just kind of dark. And now when you listen to, what I'm trying to say is that like we got academics. He's getting these calls from Lil Durk. He's doing interviews with Lil Durk. Academics is the #1 hip hop media guy in the space, and Lil Durk really ain't messing with anybody other than academics at this stage, right? And it's just like a completely different persona. It's the same guy, completely different circumstances, completely different personas.
What you been working on? What you got going?
Man, just hip hop is hip hop. Just did like some Kanye interview not too long ago, but man, this shit boring out here without you, bro.
Yeah, I'm really, I got a lot of stuff going on, bro. I ain't really too much focused on too much stuff that is like negative no more. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you on that.
See, it's just funny, right? Like he ain't focused on too much stuff that's negative no more. But it weren't so long ago that he was talking about, what does he say here? He says, saying that all the real gangsters. He's about to say that in his words, look at this. King Von was killed by a nerd.
Von put the Floyd Mayweather on the up, and that happened. That shit, everybody else like when a real gangster, you know what I mean? When a real gangster get took out by like a nerd type.
This interview would pretty much. It's like, now you're not focused on the negative because you're facing the consequences. Because you shouldn't have been doing that. You shouldn't have been allegedly orchestrating certain things that.
Now, I'm gonna stop it right here because this is really the main part that the person that sent me the video, they wanted me to react to. They had a certain little like moments or whatever that they wanted me to hear. They said really the beginning and the middle half, not really towards the end. I'm not gonna make this video a 30-minute fucking video just talking. But anyways, long story short, it don't really sound like bro defeated, bro. It don't sound like he defeated. You know what I'm saying? It just sound like he, you know what I'm saying? He dealing with the scroll, you know what I'm saying? It's just like if one of us get in trouble type shit. Or back then in school, you know what I'm saying? You facing suspension or you facing whatever the case might be. And you know what I'm saying? You just, you know what I'm saying? You going with it. Or like, some fucked up shit happen when you older. And you know what I'm saying? You dealing with some shit. You know what I'm saying? You might get stopped by the police and you just chilling. You making your move. You ain't scared. You ain't defeated. But you just like, shit. All right, how am I about to make this work? That's really how it is to me. I don't know. But I've been getting a lot of, I see in the comments too, I see in the comments of this video before I looked at it, y'all see a lot of like comments is just comments that I ain't shit. But you know, I see one that be like Durk don't sound defeated. Um, I ain't say Trap Lord no snitch, but I say like he do get into like the detective shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all out there. I mean, most of these videos is out here because of Trap Lord Ross. I mean, you know, like this right here say it's not being a fan. I just don't like haters, and he's hating a little too much. And I wouldn't say Trap Ross hating. I say he's just trying to really like, you know, he really like pinning that shit on Durk on the situation and kind of bringing up old shit. And it's like, you know, I don't know. Like I said, like the other comment, this shit say he didn't give up. He sounds unbothered. Your title is just crazy, like ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the title is reaching. But y'all tell me, I feel like in my opinion, I feel like, you know, some people was saying they felt like Trap Lord Ross is letting his fame get to his head ever since he was on that 21, whatever it's called, Adam 22, Adam 20, whatever. Like I think people been saying that he been kind of getting a little bit out of his head. Like he been, you know, at first I ain't gonna like even with me. Like at first, like the videos I used to like look at him do. Like you could look at his channel and you could see like he got, you know what I'm saying? You could look at his whole channel, bro. Like I had to type in this to see the video, but you could type in his whole channel, bro, and you can kind of like see this shit. Like you know what I'm saying? You can see like all his work, like his own this. You know what I'm saying? Not discrediting him what he did or what he doing for his channel. You know, people like it, people be watching it. That's, you know, it's cool. But I feel like on older videos, he was sounding really like neutral. And I feel like now he not sounding neutral. Now he's sounding, you know what I'm saying? Like this is some shit where you know you can watch on TV. You know, sometimes them documentaries used to pop up on TV and talk about certain moments like the Biggie and Tupac shit. You know, them documentaries used to pop up. And like that's what his old videos kind of sounded like. They sounded like, you know, YouTube documentary for hip hop type shit. You know what I'm saying? But like now it's like I feel like he definitely reaching to kind of like be inside of it, like be inside of what's going on. And it's like you don't need to do that, bro. You can just steady make your videos, react to it like how you've been reacting to it. Drop the gems for other people that's just looking, you know what I'm saying? That's looking to react to something or look at something on YouTube. That's cool. But I feel like a lot of people probably getting mad because he kind of is going all out. You know what I'm saying? Like going all out on. I think another thing that's bothering people is that he all the way in the States and he going all the way out on content that's not even his content for real, if that makes sense. But I don't know, man. I feel like I can hear Lawangster, whatever you call bro name. I can't say it wrong. Shout out to him though, but he do the same thing. Like he be like, you know, doing people downfall and shit like that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like you might hear that shit. You might hear a video like that. You might hear a video of him make a video of Trap Lord Ross. Cause I feel like he follow on comments and he follow on what the people say. Y'all know me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't be doing all that detective shit, fed shit. I don't do all that in my videos. I don't know. We just react. I react like y'all shit. I'm watching it like y'all. Goddamn. Hey, like for your boy, comment for your boy, sub for your boy. I know it's been a minute. I had to really have some other shit I was gonna react to, but I want to go ahead and knock this video out the way because folks been telling me about this video, and I wanted to kind of see what he was talking about. If y'all want that full video of Trap Lord Ross, it's right here. It's called Lil Durk Has Given Up. He just dropped it a day ago, so shit,
Okay,
y'all go check it
people.
out. If y'all want to check the full video out. I'm logging off though. I've been talking too much. The kid out.